Hey guys, I'm out here. It's been raining all morning, part of the evening, most of the night I think. I bought my twig stove out here. It's called the Vital stove, and I used 2 cotton balls to make sure I was thinking I could get it started, but the sticks I used were like these, wet. Everything I have at my site is not covered well enough on the tarp, so it's all wet. Even under the hammock is wet, or very damp right now. But this, on the lowest setting right now, is still putting out a tremendous amount of heat. I've already boiled 2 cups of water. Let's put it on there. Let her sit. Now I've got the flames down as low as they'll go. You can turn it up a little bit and make it hotter if you want. So get my finger out there. Really want some heat. It's down too high. Monster fire going. But wet wood, it didn't stop this thing. I mean, wet. I had to wipe it off to even, before I could put it in here, I wiped it off a little. The wood was so wet. But anyway, I thought it'd be interesting to see if this thing would actually cook in the rain using sticks that are already wet. But I proved now this thing will get hot enough to boil water in no time. I bet it wasn't 3 minutes. Once I got the fire lit good, and you can see it's pretty much down to embers right now. I'm going to go ahead and let it burn out. I think I'll turn it on high. Let what's there burn out. You can see it's hotter than heck. This will cause it to burn out quicker, which actually that's what they recommend if you want to get it to burn out and burn the cinders real fast. So that's where I'm at. Using these little wet sticks like that. But the thing puts out so much heat blowing the embers that it's just hotter than crap. Even a damp stick will burn. Better to use little ones, I found, but I used some fairly good sized ones, and they actually lit up. But I'm not going to keep it going. I'm going to let it go now, but I already got my water boiling. I'm going to make me a cup of coffee or hot chocolate, one of the two. And I'll talk to y'all another trip. Well, I found something crazy. Check this out. Since I have both stoves, I thought I would try. When I cooked out the hamburger or the steak last night, I noticed it was really close to the flames. So I decided to try, while I was cooking, I just made me some hot chocolate. I decided to put the Emberlit on top without the base in it. So I left this part off and just set the whole Emberlit on top of this thing. So because I have both stoves, the Emberlit's almost weightless, so I can carry both. What I see is this allows you to cook on top of the Emberlit using the blower and such. Plus you have a front feed capability on the Emberlit. I'm quite impressed. In reality, dang, I didn't realize you could do something like that. It might seem crazy, but I'll tell you what, it gives you some more variety if you want to use the Emberlit to, let's see, look down in here. You can crank this thing up some. See, I got some pretty big wood I just put on there. And to get it lit, I'm probably going to have to crank this little stove a little. Crank it up a little. Forge mode. Look at that. Now that dang thing. And this wood is all wet. It's wet. So using the Emberlit on top of the Vital stove. So I mean, that ain't a cheap deal. But you can see how the Vital stove actually can allow the wet wood to catch fire because it puts such extreme air on it. It's hot. It's cooking well. So anyway, it's another idea, things you can do that I know it seems extreme. I guess in my case, since I've already got both stoves, and what's amazing is it is quite stable. I mean, it ain't going nowhere. The Emberlit is a very sturdy stove, and on top of it, you can put the other stove. Now, I don't know a whole lot of purpose for this yet, other than like when I cooked a steak yesterday. I think maybe this just moves your meat and stuff a good distance from the grill so that with high heat or whatever, it may not tend to flame up as bad. I think it was primarily the grease falling off the steak that caused it to flame up as much as it did. But it didn't hurt anything, honestly. I just thought if you're going to cook hamburgers or something, you might end up with too much flame. But using this, it keeps that, it allows you to feed the wood right here. Plus, what wood you got, it gets it going. I'm going to turn this down and see what happens. Turn off the fan. Got my finger in front of it. I'm sorry, guys. See if you turn off the fan. Now, this wood is still wet. And it hadn't jumped into flames, has it? Look down in there. It is burning. If I open this up, put it in the forge mode. Yeah, see, I could use some more wood if I want to keep cooking the wood that's in there. See what happens. Sometimes you stir it up a little. Yeah, there's not much wood left in there that's burning. Very little. Like a piece like this. This is wet wood. I'm talking wet. Wet, baby. I'm going to put some in there and see if it'll get to going. Meanwhile, I'll put the pan back on and see if it'll get hot. This is a GSI mess kit, anodized aluminum. Comes with a nice cook pot that's about twice the size of this one in depth, but it's similar in shape. And it could be used as a fry pan. This is supposed to be the fry pan. Now you can see that fire, it's going. I think it's going to light that other wood. Let's see, boys. I'm just going to let her go a while. I'm just out here under my hammock. It was raining pretty good. Everything was getting wet. So I set down my parka down there and to give me some dry ground. Even this ground looks damp. I just set the stove on the ground and cranked her on with a couple of cotton balls. 2 cotton balls this time because I had wet wood, and it worked good. The wood, I had to break up some small sticks, but they were all soaked. And I'll tell you, without this fan going, I don't know if I could have got it started. I mean, it'd been a lot more work, I bet you that. Cotton balls usually light anything, but boy, wet wood is tough to get lit. So, yeah. This is Ted, hanging out by my hammock. Hadn't been in the hammock yet. I've just been cooking, playing with this stove. I'm having fun. But that's where I'm at. Trying to get her going. Just using wet wood, and that's tough. It's tough. And I haven't been able to boil this second time because I let the stove almost go out. Barely had any ember left. And threw some more stuff in there. And I think I put one more cotton ball in there and threw some more wood, and I got it going. see this is about to burn. And notice there's very little smoke coming from the stove, if any. The stove has almost no smoke because it's well fed with air. And this right here is pretty much full throttle. And you can barely hear that motor. That's a quiet motor. Let me open this up and we'll see what we got right now. Yeah, see that wood it's having a tough time lighting that wood. It may go, may not. I think it will, but meanwhile, maybe I can get my water hot enough without any more. So I think I'm going to give up with this part. Anyway, I'm going to hang out here and fool around with it a little while. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.